morning. I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some old friends today. Yeah. I got an email. I hope this email finds you well. Happy Friday. I wanted to know if it is possible to set up an interview to promote an event for NAMI Southern Arizona. We are having a fall film screening and fundraiser. We will be showing the documentary Wake Up, Stories from the Front Line of Suicide Prevention. Please let me know this is possible. I have attached our flyer for more info. Thank you. Oh, I think it's possible for sure because the National Alliance on Mental Illness, aka NAMI, started as a small group of families gathered around a kitchen table in 1979 and has blossomed into the nation's leading voice on mental health. Today, they are an alliance of more than 600 local affiliates and 49 state organizations who work in your community to raise awareness and provide support and education that was not previously available to those in need. NAMI envisions a world where all people affected by mental illness live healthy, fulfilling lives supported by a community that cares. And today, I'm fortunate to speak with Bella Freeman, Community Outreach Specialist and Volunteer Coordinator. Bella, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Good morning.
It's good to see you again. Good to have you back.
Yes.
We've also got Christabel Apostol, Communication and Events Director of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to have you back. We've talked in the past, and you sent me an amazing certificate and a card and an awesome bunch of information, a pen and some chapstick. I'm ready to take a walk. So I really appreciated that. That was very nice of you to send me that packet. I opened it live on the air. It's over on Instagram. If you'll follow at Lifestyle Tucson, you'll see me open this great envelope full of great, great gifts that I'm sure are actually things that you can get when you go to one of your great events. Give away a lot of things. You brought a whole bunch of pens here today. So I really just want to say thank you so much. That meant the world to me because I'm trying my best to help out so many people, and that's what your organization does. And recognizing that is really something that fuels the fire, I think, for everything that we're trying to accomplish. So thank you for being such a great organization and making me feel really good.
You're welcome, and I'm glad you were so excited about it and enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it meant the world to me. Let's talk about what you do. I've given a little 101 in the history of how it all started, but why don't you tell me everything there is to know right now of the National Alliance on Mental Illness and what you're all about.
So NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, is a nonprofit organization. So we provide no-cost education, programs, services, advocacy, and support groups for people with mental illness and also for their family members and loved ones. It's not just about having schizophrenia or bipolar. It could be severe depression, severe anxiety, PTSD, and eating disorder. There's multiple things that can affect your day-to-day living, but we're here to help.
That's important. A lot of people do need help, and it's hard to find that help. And really one of the biggest epidemics happening right now is isolation and loneliness. It's a big deal. Even the Surgeon General said loneliness is an epidemic. And I think that your organization is one of the things that really helps folks get out of that feeling of feeling isolated and feeling alone and knowing that there are people out there that are there to support them, that really do care. Plenty of people care about strangers. I know the world can seem like a cold place, but your organization proves that it is not, and that there is hope and help out there for anyone suffering from any amount of any sort of mental illness, because there are quite the variety of them, and it's true. And you want things to be temporary. Depression can be temporary. So why don't we talk about the one important question that's been on my mind since that intro. 49 states, who's the holdout? What's going on? Bella, where are we not located? Is it Alaska? Is it Hawaii? It's usually one of those two.
We don't want to point anybody out.
All right, well, we'll get them involved, all right? Listen here, whatever state it is. You got to get involved. NAMI's got to get into your town, into your state, so that they could help everybody out. But 49 states, that's a big deal, so that's exciting.
We have a few programs that are different than our other affiliates.
Oh, you must.
Yeah, so we offer advocacy. We have an advocacy specialist on staff, and she can find out any bit of information that you need. So if we can't help you with the services that we have to provide, she will definitely assist you with that. So it's a lifesaver for some people.
I bet, literally, I'm sure of it. I mean, that's what's important. How many people are involved at your organization?
There's tons of people involved. We have multiple volunteers.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Like, because volunteering is a big part of what I like to talk about all the time. There's your group, that is your core group, but then volunteering a big step. Can people volunteer and get involved at various events and with other things going on?
We would love that.
That's
yes.
the spirit.
We have, if you go online to our website, www.namisa.org, we do have a link to our volunteer application, but we would also love you to come in to our office located on
6122 East 22nd Street.
Yes. And I'm happy to give you a volunteer application. I am the volunteer coordinator.
She coordinates the heck out of it.
Yes. Yes. And it's just it's an application process. Then we do an interview and then we get started. So.
Yeah, we're actually wanting to start up a program that we had a while ago called Heart to Heart, and it's a friendship program for people who are isolated and lonely. So if anybody wants to volunteer to be a friend,
that would be great.
NAMI's where it's at.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That actually is amazing. Like that hits the nail right on the head. And I'll just tell you from my experience, whether I'm teaching kids or kids of all ages, it seems like the number one thing that I get when you're asking them the question about what's important, making new friends. It really is important. Then as we all get a bit older, I find a lot of my middle-aged friends are having a tough time making new friends. It's a very difficult thing even as you get older. And then if you feel like you have a problem going on, it's hard to find these groups. So your group exists with all these programs for people to get involved, get out in the world, and be a part of a community and not have to feel isolated. I love the idea. I love that idea of just like, hey, I'm here to be a professional friend. That's practically what I do. I'm your BFF, your best friend forever. I try to be synonymous with friendship. So I might have to do that program when it starts kicking up. I'm not even kidding. I know Belle will bother me to do it. She's
yes,
like, remember
we
that?
would love to have you.
I can't volunteer at every organization, but let me tell you, when it's as easy as like, hey, just be a friend, well, that's my favorite thing to do. So one thing that friends do is they go to the movies together. Why don't we talk about this big fall film screening and fundraiser that's happening on September 24th? It's going to be at Brickbox at 6:15. It's going to go till about 9 o'clock. That is over on Broadway. If you've never been, it's a great, great place at 220 East Broadway Boulevard. There's going to be resource tables, refreshments, and snacks. You're going to want to donate when you're hanging out, having a good time. The film screening's at 7, and then there's going to be a Q&A and discussion at 8:30. That's a huge deal. Parking is at Central Garage. Credit cards only, just so you know. And metered parking may also be available because it's downtown. There's plenty of places to go. So now there's some of the details. Tell me all about what's happening at this great event. And let's talk about the film that you're going to show.
So the film that we're going to show is going to be Wake Up Stories from the Front Lines of Suicide Prevention. That was actually handpicked by one of our volunteers, Sarah. And it's a documentary showcasing a few different people's stories and their struggles with suicide. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and we thought this would be a great month and a great idea to get the community together. It's an ongoing battle.
Well, it is, but right.
Yeah.
It never, it's a battle that never ends,
Right.
isn't it? But that's why we do these pinnacle moments to get together and learn about it and really learn from this film. That is going to be quite, I'm sure, interesting. Have either of you had a chance to look at the film yet? Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the film without giving too many spoilers.
It's just a lot of barriers sometimes when
Yeah.
there's suicide prevention and awareness, and sometimes when you try to get help, it's hard and there's obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about information about suicide awareness and prevention, and getting the help that you need. Telling their stories, how they overcame it, a story about hope, and just basically raising awareness to suicide prevention and awareness.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
I think the biggest thing is that we want people to feel comfortable enough to ask for help if they're not sure, if they're feeling nervous about it. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great way to showcase that, great way to bring the community together. It is free and it is at Brickbox. They do a lot of good stuff for the community as well. So we're happy to be partnering with them, collaborating with them as well.
Did you know about one person dies of suicide in the U.S. every 11 minutes?
Is it 11 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
That's shocking and so sad. Suicide prevention is actually the reason that I do what I do with some of my business. I was doing all this research and I found out that there was a suicide rate in 10-year-olds and I couldn't believe it. And it's on the rise. I had never fathomed that it could start that young, and the fact that it could actually be escalating because of the online bullying that we all know exists and what's happened with society. That is what really got me motivated to try to fix this, because boy, oh boy, nothing like being a kid and thinking that like, oh, it's going to be this way forever.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
It's hard because I was a sad kid. A lot of people don't know this. I was the quietest kid in school, right? See, I'm the most outgoing man in town now. It's a muscle I figured out how to fix when I was a kid. And I've just been working on that muscle that I've overworked it. Now I'm the very charismatic guy on the radio. I used to not even be able to talk to people growing up because I just got bullied, beaten up, right?
Suicide is the second leading cause of death among people ages 10 through 14 and among people ages 15 through 24, and the 11th leading cause of death overall.
Isn't that insane? It's something that we can stop just by the main thing, just trying to get people to hang on, because it's not this way forever. No matter what your life is, you're not in high school forever. And that's some of the hardest time growing up. There's just so much you're dealing with and so many people in your life.
One of the no-cost programs that we do for middle schools and high schools is our presentations called Ending the Silence.
Okay.
And when they go into the schools and they talk about mental health and bullying and other things like shaming, and encouraging them to open up about what they're struggling in life with. And it's just to open up a talk about mental health, because sometimes it's hard to talk about mental health as a youth.
Your thoughts are not who you are all the time, because boy, are they just a stream that doesn't end, right? And a dark thought can sometimes make you get a little lost. You aren't always your thoughts. You can control those too. I've just watched a lot of videos about that sort of thing.
What I like is the one that talks about you are the sky and the clouds are your thoughts.
Oh.
So no matter what, you're there and these things are passing, So
yes.
that helps me sometimes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Because it's about letting them pass, right? Some of those things, let those thoughts pass. We're going to have thousands and thousands of thoughts a day. And if you get hung up on the wrong thing or get kind of trapped in that, that's where you go down that cycle. You go down a hole. What do they call it? Like they spiral. It can feel like that.
Exactly.
As an art kid, I felt like I've been cursed with some of this growing up. It is like some of it. When you're a creative soul, sometimes it comes with the burden of that emotional stuff. And even growing up in New York, boy, talk about getting picked on because I want to be a little emotional. If anyone's looking for like immediate crisis support right now, you have a crisis line. That's 520-622-6000. And there was even a tab there right on the website for like if you need immediate help. So that's always important to know that. But right here, you've got your same-day crisis help phone line. You've got local support groups listed. You can get more info there. You can speak with a resource specialist. You got NAMI educational programs and more resources as well as FAQs right here on the site under Get Help. Also, important, subscribe to the newsletter. Anyone should always do that so that you're always in the know. Any organization that has a newsletter, sometimes you forget to mention, like, by the way, subscribe to that newsletter. But tell me about some of what you're up to when it comes to some of these great tabs and what I'm looking at right here.
So we do have support groups that we offer. We have a peer support group, and then we have family-to-family support groups, which is good for people that maybe have a child struggling, or your sister or whoever. They're struggling with mental health, and so you need to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. So we believe that everyone's affected when someone's having an issue, and we all need that support. Yes. So that's the local support groups.
We have education called peer-to-peer, and what that is a 8-course class for individuals with mental illness focusing on recovery. Then after that, they can take peer leading training, and after they pass that, they're able to take peer support specialist training where they can get certified. So if they wanted to work in the behavioral health field with their lived experience, they'll be able to put that on their resume.
And it's absolutely 100% free.
Yes.
Always important to mention that. And I'll tell you this, as a guy that has people come in here and interview, it is those folks that are like, I went through the program and now I help people because I went through the program, can be the most powerful people. They really understand what it is, and then they understand the full ins and outs of that journey of going through your program, which is very, very important.
NAMI Southern Arizona's mission is to improve the quality of life for all those affected by mental illness. That's why we have education for the family members, like Family to Family or NAMI Basics. We have Homefront for veterans. We have ending the silence, like the presentations I was telling you about. We even have in our own voice presentations and
Well, what's that? Here, stuff. This ain't a grocery list. We're not shopping. Tell me about it.
yeah, in our own voice presentation is given by individuals with mental illness providing their testimonials. So they talk about what happened, what helped, and what's next for them. And the whole point is to destigmatize mental illness. So if they go out to different organizations in the community and talk about what they've been through and how they overcame it, they'll be like, oh, wow, they're just like me. They're just like a regular person, you know?
Great program. I attended that program years and years and years ago and gave a testimonial. And that was, it's pretty powerful to hear people's stories and then to share yours and hope that you can, just touch one person and make a difference.
Yep. Hope. That's what it's all about.
And
right?
that helps people. Like, example, if you're a male and you're ashamed to say, oh, I have severe depression just because of the stigma, maybe when they hear your story, they're like, oh, I need to get help.
Yeah. Again, as a very emotional guy, that used to be a stigma I dealt with was you're too emotional. I was told that. And I'm like, no, I think I am emotional. That's what I am. That's how I started defending myself. I'm like, I'm allowed to feel this way because you're abusing me. Don't tell me I'm too emotional because of your gaslighting nonsense or of your rudeness. Or validating your own feelings because of a situation is also a big part of it too. And I can see it now, and I can see it in other kids that I teach, because now I teach kids at these various things. And sometimes there is that little trans kid, or there is that little confused kid, that quiet kid, that goth kid, whatever it is, that they are there and they showed up, but they are quiet. And I will try to talk to them to get them to understand that what they're feeling and how they feel is important and it matters. And I have a very important moment that happened to me. And we'll see if I leave all this in. I was teaching these kids and I was telling them how they have all the opportunity now because of technology. That they can connect more. They can do more with their own careers if they learn to draw. You don't have to, there's no gatekeeping like it was in the 80s and 90s trying to get an art career. You can go start your own website. You could start an Instagram, depending on how old you are. You can do your own thing. And the bullying doesn't exist the way it used to, where people are now anti-bullying. It's a big deal. It'll still, of course, happen because bullies will happen forever. I don't care if it's the insurance company or your boss. It's not Nelson all the time. I'm from The Simpsons. I was talking to these kids, and I record all these things. And it was, so you have all this opportunity and you can do it. And you don't have to feel the same way I felt growing up. And my voice like cracked, like I got upset. Oh, is that what it was just that. And it kind of came out. It shows you where I am and why I do this and why I try to get these kids to feel like $1 million, because I then tried it again the next day and got choked up again. That's why I do what I do. I do not want these kids to feel the way I felt growing up, where for years I was invisible, could not talk to kids, could not make friends. I was just isolated, and it was so hard, and I had to fight so hard between 7th and 8th grade to become the guy that you all know today, the fun, outgoing guy that's not embarrassed of anything, like that's overworked that muscle so that I have beaten it. And that's what I want to tell kids. If I could get my thoughts together, it would be like write a book for kids to how to overcome some of this stuff. And I know I can help them. And that's what it is. And that's why your group's amazing, because I'm sure you know you can help them. And they have to know that they can be helped. I think that's important. I think it's important that kids know, and I say kids a lot, but kids of all ages know that they can be helped, and you don't have to feel this way all the time. Let's again reset a little bit and remind everybody that they want to come to this free entry event, the fall film screening and fundraiser at BrickBox for NAMI. And it's going to be a big deal as we watch Wake Up stories from the front lines of suicide prevention. It's going to be at 6:15 or when things start. There's resource tables, refreshments. Go get these resources. That's what's the most important things about get-togethers is the resource table. So you can learn all about it and learn that you're not alone and maybe make some new friends that are going to this same hub. That's the idea. Film screening starts at 7 p.m. and the discussion and Q&A is afterwards at 8:30 p.m. on September 24th. So make sure you mark it in your calendar right now so that you don't miss this great event.
Can I add on to what you just said? We will have a few guest speakers that will also be talking about their experience with suicide prevention, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we will be giving away free suicide prevention awareness pins.
Nice.
So
Very important.
get your swag.
That's right. Get that swag. They already sent it to me. It's all good as gold. I love it. And it's really important. It's very, very important that you're doing this for others, but that others know you're doing it for them.
NAMI Southern Arizona is being sponsored by Happy for the El Tour de Tucson November 22nd. So if you want to ride for a nonprofit, please choose NAMI.
And did you know that only 30% of people that register to ride for the L Tour ride for a nonprofit? So why not ride for a purpose?
Yeah, and also coming up, we have the Candlelight Vigil on October 7th at the Richard and Annette Bloch Cancer Survivors Plaza at Reed Park from 5:45 to 7 p.m., 22nd Street and Lakeshore Lane.
That's where the community gathers, and we have a candle lighting ceremony and talk about erasing stigma. So it's a really beautiful event.
And also, the Active 2030 Club of Tucson is hosting their third annual 2030 Classic on Saturday, October 25th at Sewilo Golf Club. Check-in will be open at 6:30. They are raising money for NAMI Southern Arizona's Ending the Silence program, which is a 50-minute early intervention program for students and youth to engage them in mental health education and discussion.
What's this group? Tell me about this group. Who's this group?
2030 Club.
What's that?
They're a group that's raising money for NAMI, and this is going to be their third year at a golf event.
Oh, well, that's
So,
really
yeah.
nice. Heck yeah.
What's really cool is that we have a lot of people that not a lot of people know about NAMI Southern Arizona, but there are people that have heard about us that have been very supportive and contributed financially just because they know people that have experienced issues with mental health. I think we were just granted a $3,000 check from an organization. And she said that, it was because somebody told her about what we do, and she was really touched by it.
Mental health services can be very costly, and it's so awesome that we're able to provide all these programs, education, advocacy, support groups free of charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the reason they do that is because of the big donate button as well, right at the top of this website, NAMISA.org. So make sure that you go donate, because there's the volunteering aspect of things. Sure, you can donate some time, but if you can't donate some time, well, time is money. So why don't you donate some money? And do you guys qualify for the Arizona tax credit or no?
I believe we do. We have
Yes.
a EIN number.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're solely funded by grants, donations, and memberships. We're not government or federal funded.
Very important, because, again, there are some people that get really mad and get up in arms about government money for things. And a lot of my organizations that show up in the show are surprisingly privately funded. And really, it's a thing that most of you do have to talk about a lot more, that it's all based on these donations. It's based on getting grants. It's based on that hard work to earn a grant, because grants don't just fall out of the sky. Tucson has the most nonprofits per capita, by the by. So everyone is trying to get some of that extra grant money or get people's tax credit, which you can split up, by the way, and send it to various organizations. So I implore you to do it. I donated my tax credit last year. It felt real good. It's a dollar for dollar match tax credit. It doesn't cost you money, actually saves you money. Make sure you learn how to do that. You can learn all about it on a previous episode of Lifestyle Tucson, where I talked to IBE and Kimberly Kirshner. She does it like a musician. She explains how this works so well. And my dad's a CPA, and he had a hard time figuring it out. So it's not as easy as it sounds to go find the form, but once you do, it's worth that extra bit of effort to get your accountant to make sure that your money is going in the right place and staying right here locally in Tucson to our great Tucson organizations. Because also, if it just goes to taxes, well, that could go to fixing a road up in Scottsdale. All right. So make sure that your money is going to the right spot.
And let's not forget, a huge part of success is based on our partnership with other nonprofit organizations. So
yeah, name drop them. Anybody that you want to talk about that has helped you in the past, that helps you a lot.
My
all the
kid
time?
does some great work. They provide services for families and their children from when they're 3 to up to the age of 24, I believe. They do some great work. AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, who actually has a walk, the Out of Community Darkness Walk, which is coming up on November 8th. It's one of my favorite community walks, bringing awareness to, again, suicide prevention and awareness. Go online and check it out, afsp.org.
always important. And this is the point. And that is important that you're helping them by saying this. This is what everyone's got to realize. And word of mouth is still the number one thing that works. So make sure that you're talking about these organizations, just like that person donated to you, because they heard about it. And everybody knows someone that's dealing with some mental health and or has. So, because it's called humanity, folks. All right. We're all dealing with something in some way. Be aware that some of us are not as able to deal with it, and we need community support. We need folks and friends in the community and friends at NAMI. So just one last call to action from you, or any last final thoughts before we wrap it up today.
Be safe, be well, and I hope you have a great mental health day. And yeah, I hope to see you at BrickBox.
Yes, please do come on down. We love community. We would love to see you. And if you're having any questions, if you need any help, please visit us down on 22nd and Wilmot. Our cross streets. Our phone number is 520-622.
5582.
What a team. That's the spirit.
Give us a call. We'll point you in the right direction.
Give them a call and go make friends, because today we made friends with Bella Freeman, Community Outreach Specialist and Volunteer Coordinator, as well as Christabel Apostol, Communication and Events Director of NAMI. Help and hope for those affected by mental illness and their loved ones. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Frank, for having us.
This was
You're amazing.
Let's get out of town. This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. Oh, so nice. Thank you, Bella. And what a great conversation that was with NAMI. I really do enjoy talking to them. Thanks to Christabel as well. And again, very open I am sometimes. All this stuff comes pouring out. If you think I was very open, let me tell you, I edited out about 10 minutes of conversation from this thing, because we just got to talking, and you can hear how my experience being a quiet kid, being an art kid, and all that stuff has really been a big fuel for who I did become. But that is because I was able to fight, and I did have good friends that would get me through it. If you just have one best friend, sometimes that's all you need, and that's why friendship is so important. So I really know that it is a big deal for people to get together, so you do want to get together with these great folks and all these great things that they mentioned. They did bring up a lot of events that are available for you. So if you are having a tough time, remember, you can go to NAMI. Their crisis line, if you need to ever just make a call, store it in your phone, 520-622-6000. You want to go find their official website, because we are the Southern Arizona edition of it, and it is NAMISA.org, because it stands for NAMI Southern Arizona. You can also check out NAMI.org, as well as follow them on Instagram at NAMI_Southern_Arizona, and make sure you check out NAMIWalks.org. Make sure you give them a call also at 520-622-5582 there at 6122 East 22nd Street here in Tucson, Arizona. But they mentioned a lot of events. Volunteer, donate, and maybe it is your action that is going to help save a life. So I want to thank our old friends at NAMI for joining me today, and thank them for that gift once again. I really did appreciate it. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program, or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, crankthehanktucson.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and over on YouTube, and especially wherever fine podcasts are emotional. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, especially on YouTube, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And toot toot Tucson, I love you the most.